Hi everyone, my name is Dina. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing video. It's going to be the Bargain Bead Box's January 2025 box that they have named the Dusty Rose. So in each of my unboxing videos, I'm going to show you the contents of that box and get a little bit of detail to it and things like that, get some, suggestions from me possibly of making things and things of that nature. But in that, I will also do a quick little make of some sort. Most likely it's probably going to be earrings the majority of the time because they're going to be quick, simple, and I could just make one earring with you. That way you can come back and rewatch it again to make the other earring. So on each of my unboxing videos, that's what my plan is going to be. Also, if you do not want to have any spoilers, then you may want to pause this video and come back to it later if you have not received your box. But if you have received your box and or you're not too worried about your spoiling and everything of this box and all, go ahead and meet me back here in a few seconds and I will show you everything in that box down on my bead mat. Alrighty everyone, so this is your Dusty Rose collection. It is actually 17 different items this month for the month of January, and then that kind of gives you an idea of everything that'll be in it. So you always get all your products in this nice little bag. I like to reuse these bags, especially when I get to the point where I make my certain items and I do different crafting events and different I don't know, just different events like that. I've worked at a couple of farmers markets in the past and things like that also, and I like to sell my products. So I also have an Etsy site that's being worked on at this moment. It's not up there just yet, but maybe by the time this video hits, and then it might be up and running. So anything that I make on my videos as far as the unboxings or anything else that I do as far as videos, you might be able to find these items on my Etsy shop. I'll have all that information down below, so that way if you'd like to go look and take a look at it, you're more than welcome to. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with item number 1, which is a rhodonite and brass pendant. This little guy is nice. Now each one of these is going to be a little bit different than the next, because as of any type of gemstone, you're always going to get a little bit of a variation. So some people may get a little bit more black in their center stone. Some people, like me, I have more of the pink and a little bit of the brown in the center stone. But in this one, I like it's unique because you've got 2 little tiny stones on either side of it as well. I love hearts. Anything with hearts in it, I'm like, yep, that's mine. Like it. So I love this one because it's got the 2 little hearts off to the side. So this, I really like this pendant. This is nice. Good option to do necklaces and things like that in it. So item number 2 is going to be 6 millimeters of the pink rhodonite faceted round beads. Should be around 15 inches. So these are your rhodonites. So, and these are nice because, oh, yep, camera is picking up the sparkles and everything. That's what I like best about the faceted stones, is that you get a little bit of a sparkle with it. And it's 15 inches of this. And if you hear any type of whistling in the background, my dog is actually in my doorway, and I believe he is starting to snore. So, that may be what the whistling is. Alrighty, so item number 3 is going to be freshwater shell rondelle nugget beads, which are dyed, and they're dyed in a pink color. Should be 14.5 inches. So let's look at these guys. So these are your shell beads, and they're pretty unique because not all of them are going to be the same size. So you've got one that's a little bit smaller like that. You've got some that are a little bit more chunkier, like that one, and then look at that one sitting next to it, it's much more thin. So this I kind of like too because it gives you a little bit more of, a variety in your piece, whether you do a necklace with it and just bunch a couple of these together and use wire and chain and things like that, then, that would be one option for you to do. But it gives it a little bit more of a variety, more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? More of the natural look. That's a good word for that. Alrighty, so number 4 is going to be your 8mm rhodonite round beads. This is going to be 15 inches. So this one's going to be more similar to what is found in that center stone of that first one, that pendant that we got. And then this is going to be your rhodonites. Now these are just round beads, they're not faceted, so you don't see any sparkles per se, other than the shininess from the gemstone itself. But I like this one because I do have a good variation. I've got good ones that have pink in it. This one's pretty awesome. It's got brown on one side, and you flip it over to the other side, it's pink. So that one's kind of cool. I like that. I also love the ones that have the little striations in it and everything with the black. Those are pretty cool too. So this is really a really good strand. I like this. Good versatile also because it's 8mm, so you can use it in all sorts of different things. They're not quite too heavy to where you can use one of those in a pair of earrings if you wanted to. You can use it in necklaces and bracelets, all sorts of different stuff. So here is number 5, which is 8 pieces of 12mm rhodonite faceted coin beads. Now these guys is a good variety of all of the different types that you can potentially get with your center stone and rhodonite. And you saw it some on the 8mm beads too. But see how these these almost match in a way, because there's a little bit more pink and a little bit more brown in them. Those two guys. This one has a little bit more closer to this one. This one's kind of sort of about the same as that, but it kind of flows into these two right here. And I'm just flipping them around so that way you can kind of see the differences and everything. Hopefully my lights are not drowning them out too much. But those are the faceted coin beads. So I will most likely do a set of earrings with these guys. I just haven't decided on which pair I wanted to do with them yet. But I will show you how to do that in my next little segment. Item number 6 is going to be 2 pieces of 18 by 13mm rhodonite oval drops. Now first, I thought I was going to make a pair of earrings with these. But as you can see here in just a second, gemstones are gemstones. You're going to get variations from time to time. So in my pair that I got, which I think, oh, as I'm dropping one, sorry. I think I'm going to raise these up so you can see them a little bit better. Okay, refocus for a second. There we go. So you can see that I've got one that looks, closer to the 8mm stones that I have with all the, black lines and everything in it. And then that's the other side of that stone. And then this one is similar, more similar to my, apparently my camera is doing some weird things, sorry. It's more similar to what my pendant is like. So it's more of the pinks and the browns and everything. So this, I would not be able to make a matching pair of earrings, but some people are okay with that. Some people realize, okay, these are the same stone. It just looks slightly different. So there's always that potential you can still make a pair of earrings and wear it just as good as anything else. So that's completely up to you. If that's something that doesn't bother you, make earrings. Alrighty, so number 7 is going to be 4mm of black tourmaline, which are faceted round beads, and it's 7.5 inches. These guys I'm probably going to use in my earring tutorial as well. And these are really nice. I like tourmaline because it comes in a couple of different colors, and these are the black ones, and they're faceted, so you get the sparkle. Alrighty, so that's your tourmaline. And I think we're coming to a close of the gemstones that we're getting in this box. So this is number 8, which is your 10mm rose quartz matte round beads, which is 7.5 inches. Rose quartz, in my mind, is kind of a staple. It's a good bead that you can use in a lot of different colorways and a lot of different projects and things like that, because it is so light in color. You can pretty much match this with a lot of different things. You can use the black, you can use the darker pinks, you can use the other rhodonites, the 8mm and everything, and it matches with so many different things. It's a very good staple one to have, and with it being the 10mm, it makes it even more fun to come up with ideas on how to use it. So that is the last of your gemstones that you get in this box. So now we're moving into the crystals. So this is the first bag of the crystals, bag number 9. It's 3.5 by 3mm crystal faceted rondelle beads in copper pink. It's a 13-inch strand. And these little guys are just pretty. They're sparkly. They're like a pinkish purplish color. It says it's pink, but it kind of almost looks more like a lavender color to me. And then you've got the copper color on the other side. So this is pretty. I like this. With it being the small size like it is, makes it so much easier to use this as like little spacers if you wanted to in jewelry making. You can use all sorts of different other things going on as far as like earrings. Use those as spacers in there. Just different stuff with that one. I like that strand. Alright, next out of your crystals is bag number 10. It is 8 by 6mm crystal faceted rondelle beads in the vintage mix, which is also 15 inches. You get a ton of beads in this box. A ton of beads. Now this one is pretty neat. You get all sorts of different colors. You get your more lavender color, which goes really well with the lavender-ish, pinkish color that's in the ones that we just looked at. Then you get a darker purple color, you get the cream, you get, that one looks almost like amethyst. So you get a gold one. I think I haven't said that one yet. But each strand is going to be a little bit different than the next. So your strand that you got, you may have more cream beads, more gold beads, more purple beads, something like that. But each strand's a little bit different, but you get plenty. No matter what your colors are, you get plenty to do all sorts of things with them. Alrighty, so the last of your crystals is going to be bag number 11. So it's 4mm crystal faceted bicone beads in antique copper. And this is 12 inches. So this is your bicones. I like bicones. I've used bicones since the beginning of making my jewelry. I just like them because to me they're always sparkly. They're always faceted really well and everything. To make that sparkle just go crazy. I've always liked bicones. So getting more bicones in different colors, I really appreciate that. Alright, so now we're on to our findings. Findings, we start off with bag number 12. This is an 11 by 10mm fancy coin bead. It is also, what this stands for, is lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free. Hopefully I said that word right. Sometimes that word's hard for me to say. So this is basically like a really good spacer bead. And you've got the little swirly patterns. They almost kind of sort of make a heart. Not quite, but little swirly patterns and everything. Your hold goes through the center right here. And then it's the same on both sides. So I like these little guys. They are kind of hefty. So it might be a little too heavy to have these in an earring, but they would go really well with a necklace or in a bracelet as spacers and everything. So number 13, you get 20 pieces of 8 by 5mm rope accent bead caps. There we go again with the lead-free, nickel-free, and the cadmium-free, which is always a good thing to mark, especially if you're making jewelry that you will end up selling. That's always a good thing to mark on your products, that they are lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free. I get that question actually quite a bit on some of my events. Are your products lead-free? Are your products nickel-free? Things like that. I don't quite necessarily get questions about the cadmium-free, but living in Texas, that may not be a big thing for Texans. I don't know. I just don't get asked that question very often. But these are your bead caps. So you've got more of a rope design on one side. Let me see if I can go ahead and zoom in on this guy. There you go. So now you can kind of see it a little bit better. So you've got a rope design there, and then that's what it looks like underneath. So you can fit your bead on one side, and then it will go on either side. That made no sense. You'll have your bead in the middle of either side of your bead caps. I'll find my English words eventually. So that is that one. And we've got still several more to go. We're only on bag 14, so we've got 4 more bags, 3 more bags after this one. So this is bag 14. This is 10 pieces of 13 by 9 millimeter medallion drops. Same thing, lead, nickel, and cadmium free. Just trying to say 2 of those at the same time. It was not coming out correctly. So these have a swirly design. Oh, hi Kylie. It's one of my cats. Swirly design on one side, and then you've got more of just, it looks kind of like it's been brushed or something on the back. There's lines down the center and the back on the other side. So it's still a nice little pattern, so that way you don't have just plain bronze in the background, that type of thing. But I like those. I might be using these guys in the earrings as well, because I like to have little drops on my earrings a lot of the time, so I might be using those. Number 15 is 2 pieces of 35 millimeter medallion pendants, and then the same thing with all the metals. Those metals are free out of these as well. They are not contained. So that is your little medallion. There's my heart again. I like these guys. So this is the back side of it. And it does cup up a little bit. So this will definitely be a good, potentially larger set of earrings if you wanted to make a large set of earrings. Or it could be a really good pendant, because it's nice, it's lightweight, it's not very heavy whatsoever, but it does cup up a little bit. Let's see if I can show that a little. There we go. So you do see a little bit of a cuppage right there. But these are pretty. I like these a lot. And then bag number 16, you get 3 sets of toggles. These are 23 millimeters, and they're calling them ornate round toggles. So these are just like your typical toggle, where you have a round clasp, a round portion to it, and then you have the bar that goes along with it. And I believe these are double-sided on both of them. Yeah, the bar has the same thing on both sides, and so does the clasp. And then these, if you're not familiar with them, you would make a bracelet or a necklace, and then this would go inside here, and then clasp like that. If you're not familiar with them. My cat's deciding if she's going to take off with some beads here in a second. Maybe not. I said something about it. Alrighty, so this is your last bag of this box. So this is bag number 17, which is 1 meter of 4 millimeter steel Rolo jewelry chain. This one is only a lead and nickel free. So this is a very good staple to have in jewelry making, is chain, because you can do so much with this. You can make a pair of earrings and then just dangle it just ever so slightly from the ear wire, and then whatever you're putting on the earring and everything. You can obviously do necklaces and bracelets with this. I have made several bracelets and several necklaces in the past that have been multiple layers, and then I'll use the chain in some of my boxes to be able to do those multiple layers. So that is always one of those good things, good options, or good items to have in your boxes. So that is your bargain bead box of January 2025. And this is a lot of beads and findings, and it is like this every single month. You get a lot of stuff to work with, all of that. I think I have everything, something like that. So this is your Bargain Bead Box January 2025 Dusty Rose version. So if you like to, you can stay tuned and come back with me, and I will show you which beads I'm actually going to use, and we're going to make a pair of earrings. So meet you back in a little bit. Alright, so I have picked out what I'm going to do with my earrings. Have an idea of what I'm going to do. It's going to end up being brick stitch. So we're going to do this on the fly and see if this works or not. So I have the following beads already out. These are the black tourmaline, the 4mm black tourmaline that were in the box. The faceted coin beads, the rhodonite faceted coin beads, and I just picked out two that looked fairly similar to each other. These I felt like they looked the best together, are the two of the pink ones that came in there. And then these guys down here are those little charms, and that is the medallion charms. So picked out two of those, and like I had said during the unboxing portion, I'll probably do some sort of a drop from the bottom of the brick stitch, more than likely. It's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Now the extra things that I have on the mat, this is also from Bargain Bead Box, actually, excuse me, their sister site, Bead Box Bargains, where it is a lead, cadmium, and nickel-free pair of earrings. It is actually Ear 166 is the code if you wanted to purchase any of these. They are still available as of the making of the video, as of today. We're in the beginning of January 2025. So as of today, it's still available, but their items change a lot all the time. So if it's not available when you get around to watching the video, I apologize. Just use a pair of earrings that you like, which whatever you want to do with that. And then I've got two sets of seed beads. I don't know if I'm going to be using both of these seed beads yet or not, or if I'm just going to be using one or the other. But I went ahead and I got the, what is this one? They're both Miyuki. This is the metallic dark bronze, which is Miyuki's number 457. And then this one is something Duracoat. I don't remember the name of it. I just have the number in front of me. It's Miyuki's number 4210F, as in Frank. So it is a semi-frosted Duracoat pink of some sort. But I don't remember the name of it. Alrighty, so I also have a size 11 just pony brand beading needle. That's just my preferred choice. And then I have black, and I'm using the Wildfire today, which is the 0.006 size of the Wildfire. And I just did a arm span length of it. So not much. Usually on earrings, you usually don't need that much. I'm going to start off with a stop bead though. So I'm going to pick up one of my 11-Os. I'm going to bring it down towards the end, just enough of a tail, leaving just enough of a tail that I can kind of hold on to it. So that way here at the very beginning when you're first starting stuff, it's a lot easier to hold on to it. And then I'm going to go back through the bead one more time. I'm also going to make this a little bit more easier to see and zoom a little bit better. There we go. So you'll see some markings from my camera again, but those will go away in just a minute. So I'm going to go back through the bead one more time. And then that just creates a little stop. Sometimes on the stop beads you can use them in a product. You don't always have to. You can always take it off if you don't feel like you're going to end up using it. So on this, I'm going to go ahead and pick up one of the faceted beads. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to create some thread bridges around the bead itself, so that way we can do our brick stitch around it. In order to do that, see I'm coming from the bottom towards the top. I'm going to go back through the bead in the same direction 2 more times. Actually more than that, but right now it's just 2. So the thread is on the right hand side of the bead. I'm going to go back through it another time. And this is just to kind of help get a little bit of a stability. So when we start the brick stitch, we have something that we can go under. You don't have to put 2 threads on either side. I just like to do it just because it makes it more stable. At least that's the way I feel it does. So I've got 2 threads on the right, and we're going to go back through this 2 more times. but we're going to put our thread to the left this time. And then go back through the left one more time and put the last one on the left side. So now you should have 2 threads on the left and 2 threads on the right. So now we're going to do our makeshift brick stitch. Let's figure out what we're going to do. Let's see. I do like the pink, so I think I'm going to start with the 11-0 pink. I believe I'm going to put a tourmaline on top and then maybe another 11-0. I may need a little extra room. So let's try this first. We're going to do 11, a tourmaline, and an 11. We're going to try that first and see what goes on. So to do brick stitch, we're starting off not underneath the threads whatsoever. We're coming out of that hole of the center bead. What I usually do is just go underneath the thread, your needle, put your needle underneath the thread, pull the beads to where you're doing your product, and then what you would do to finish it, to get ready for the next one, is that your thread's coming out in front of your bridge threads, which is this part right here. You need to go back through the previous bead, the last one that you added, to stitch these in place. Now there's 2 different things that we can do here. There is some thread showing right here in between the 11-0 and the 4mm on either side. It's black. You probably can't see it on the video. I can see it only because I'm looking at it right now. So I can see it. But I'm not sure if I'm upset with that. I may end up actually coming through and putting some more beads through the center. So that may be what we end up doing. So let's just continue. We'll pick up another tourmaline, maybe. There we go. And then an 11-0. So when you start off brick stitch, you want to do your full complete look. So the full complete look is that we're going to have a 11-0 on either side of your tourmaline. The next stitches on out, you're only going to be doing half that look. So this is what you're going to be, excuse me. Yeah, that's what you add, is those 2. So I put a tourmaline and an 11-0 on the needle. So then that will help complete your 11 tourmaline 11. Just that this 11 that was the one after the tourmaline is now going to be the one before the next tourmaline. So I've got my 2 beads on the thread. I'm going to go underneath the thread bridge again. Pull it tight towards the bead. You know, don't get too over tight. You know, you don't want to start warping things. So now you should have your beads look something similar to this. And so now we're going to go back through just the last 11-0 that we added. And just make sure that you don't go back underneath the bridge thread again. If you go back underneath the bridge thread and go back through the 11-0, then your 11-0 is going to pop off your thread. So then you'll know that you went through that twice by accident. So now I'm going to start doing this a little bit faster. Got the 2 beads on. One of my cats is climbing around on stuff behind me again. So now I've got 3 tourmalines on. In fact, I think I will go through these beads one more time because I'm going to add these guys down in there. So yes, I will. See, my brain works too fast sometimes when I'm designing. Do I really need to use that? Do I not really need to use that? Is it going to work out? And it looks like it's actually going to work out to where I can use my stop bead. So if this occurs, all you have to do is pick up a tourmaline. And yours may not work out that way, because like I had said in the beginning, gemstones are gemstones. They're not going to be exact. It's not going to be like the Czech pressed glass or the Czech glass and everything, where that is pretty much exact. They're pretty good about cutting their glass very similar. Gemstones, not so much, because it's gemstones. So if that happens to where you have enough space in between those two beads, just add your tourmaline like I'm going to do now. If not, if you have too much space or not enough space, then just skip that stop bead, and then I will show you what to do after that. So right now I just have the tourmaline on, so I'm going to act like I'm going to add that 11-0. Now I have to go under the bridge thread, so now we're kind of on the left hand side of the bridge threads over here. My computer keeps trying to turn off, so I keep trying to move the mouse to keep it from turning off. So I'm underneath the bridge thread, and then now I'm going to go back through the 11-0, which is also the stop bead. And then now you have it set up. So now you can just continue on until we get to the end. And if I can find one of the holes, which is really hard to see. Okay, I have to get closer, I'm sorry. Give me a second. There we go. Wearing my contacts, I don't see very close up very well. Some of my videos you'll see me wear my glasses, because I can see a little bit better with my glasses than I can with my contacts. So I probably have, I'd say maybe 2, 3 more that I have to add. So we're going to move into this. My screen is like flashing weird things over here. I don't know what it's doing. So if I look like I'm distracted, that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to figure out what my computer's doing. And I'm trying to get this part done so that way you'll know what to do at the very end. When you start running out of space. Okay. So now I am to that spot where I am pretty much running out of space. I have just enough space to where I can add one more tourmaline, so we're going to do the same thing that we did down at the very bottom when we actually were able to use our stop bead. So pick up the one tourmaline. I've already got the 111-0 on the left hand side, tourmaline for the center, and then I'm going to reuse the 11-0 on the right hand side, going down the 11-0. In this case, because I came out through the front of the product, I'm going to go back under the bridge thread. I'm going to try to get the bridge thread that's on the right hand side of the hole. And then I'm going to flip this a little bit in my hand so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go back through that same 11-0 that we started off with. Hopefully not going back through the bridge thread again. So just go back through the 11-0. And now you have your rhodonite that has been brick stitched with some tourmaline. Alright, so now for the next step. I'm going to go ahead and go through the tourmaline on the right. So I'm going to continue in a clockwise direction. And what are we going to do here? Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. I picked up an 11, a 15, sorry, wrong one. 15, 11, and a 15. And yeah, I think I kind of like that. And then just go through your tourmaline. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. And then we can always come back on another round if we wanted to and make that stick up more like a picot. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, we need to add this guy. Okay, let's see. How are we going to add that guy? Should we add that guy in the center like this? Or should we add that guy like this? I think I still like this option better. because that just looks like an add-on. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our drop right away. Now this one I'm going to do different just because the oh, is that the right direction? I want it to go like that, yeah. This one, the hole is a little bit bigger, so 15 O's are going to go through that pretty quick. So I'm going to put 2 11 O's. Maybe it's going to make it stand out a little bit better, but we'll see on this, on the size in between the two to see if that's going to be too much. And yeah, when you kind of pull it and everything, I don't know, that actually kind of worked. Okay, that's working out kind of good. You just kind of have to kind of finagle the 11s a little bit to get them to fit right. So now we're going to go back to our 15, 11, 15, go through the next tourmaline, and then make your 11 kind of stick out more in a picot style. And some of this is kind of buckling a little bit. With that being the case, I may go ahead and go through the 15s one more time. I'm trying to stay in frame too. I don't think I was in frame part of that. There we go. So we're gonna get this part done. So before I forget to say anything, I want to say thank you for watching. I probably will say that at the end, but just in case I forget. Thanks for watching. This is my actual first video on my own personal channel. So this is kind of my practice run. If it works out great, then I'll go ahead and post it and you'll be seeing it. If it doesn't work out great, then it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it. So we'll see what happens. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, see, this is starting to kind of buckle some. So yeah, I think I will go through these beads one more time. See if I can make it a little bit tighter and keep that buckling from happening. Oh, I don't know what that sound was. Something in my kitchen. Oh, I do know what that sound was. Never mind. All is good. Nothing is broken in the kitchen. At least I hope. If that's really the sound, I knew what it was. Alright, so I'm going to go back through that last tourmaline. I'm going to go ahead and go back through the 15 that's sitting there. And then I'm going to go back through the beads. Yeah, it's definitely buckling. I'm going to go back through just the 15s and the tourmalines. I'm going to skip over the 11s when I get to the come on, just go through the tourmaline. When I get to the drop here, I'm going to just go through the drop. I'm not going to go through the 11s. So I'm basically skipping over some of these beads to help try to make it a little bit more tight. So that way you don't get the buckling effect. See how you can see it's kind of wobbly. Some of the beads are going one direction towards the back and others are coming in, flopping towards the front. I'm going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, this is what happens when you bead on the fly. Because sometimes things that you start working on work out perfect. And then other times things that you're working on, some things work out perfect. And not all of it. Or you get to the very end and you're like, I really don't like this. It didn't work out at all. It doesn't look right. The colors are wrong. You know, something along those lines. It happens. That's what part of designing is all about. You get some things that work out. Other things do not. And I can barely figure out where that hole is of the 15-0. I was trying to make this just one video, or one segment, and not multiple segments, like I will do on other videos, just because I want to see how this one goes with just doing one segment. And like I said, it's my first video, so I have to do my own editing and figure that part out. So I figure if I can just do 2 really long segments and figure out how to edit, and then we'll do that. Okay, come on. There we go. The other thing we have to figure out here in a minute, once we get this all situated, hopefully, is where are we going to put our ear wire. The holes on the ear wire that I've chosen to use face you. So it's this part right here. It's facing you rather than doing it perpendicular to the product. So we're going to have to figure out how to get that on so we don't change the orientation of this part that we're beading right now. So I'll have to figure that out here in a minute too. And that sometimes can be just as easily used as just using some jump rings. Oh, there's my cat again. Hi, Kylie. I don't know if she's showing up in the video or not, but man, I'm having difficulties getting through that one. I just can't find the hole because it's smushed up against the tourmaline. And this is helping some with the buckling or the wobbling effect, but I don't think it's helping as much as I was hoping it would. But who knows, maybe this will be a happy little leave it to be and don't worry about it. And Kylie, what are you doing? No, ma'am, that is not yours. She's taking off with a hair thing. Goofy cat. I'll get it from her in a minute. She's always tending to find hair things from either me or my daughter. I always have hair rubber bands. Oh, yep, she's playing with it now. I promise I'll take it away from her, because I know those are choking hazards and everything. But we always tend to have these things lying around everywhere. And we try to put them up, but somehow they just always find other ones that we think are out of their reach, but they're cats. So they're going to find them eventually, somehow, some way, shape, or form. Okay, and I think that was the first one. Was that the first one that I went through? Yeah, that was the first one. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. And yeah, we've got some movement. So it's definitely wobbling back and forth. But I think I'm just going to leave it like that and see how it goes. Okay, what I do want to do is try to figure out what we're going to do for this guy. So what I could do is use some of that chain, not much, but a little bit of the chain, and then make a bridge with seed beads here that goes through one of the loops of the chain, and then just use a couple of pieces of chain and then attach it to this guy. I think I will do that. So yes, I'm going to have another little part because I have the chain here, but I don't have jump rings and I don't have my clipper thingy. I can't think of what that thing's called right now. The pliers that you clip, that you cut things with. Anyways, I'm going to go grab that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So, wire cutters. Yee. Yeah, I do know what the names of them are. Sometimes words don't come to my brain. So, and then after I got them, I realized, well, these are kind of one of those chains that, like I said, it's really hard for me to see small things right now. But yeah, these, I think I don't actually need to cut them. I think I can actually peel them apart with 2 sets of pliers. Let's look at that real quick. This first one looks like it's a little wonky looking anyway, so can I open them like a jump ring? And if that's the case, then I may not need my jump rings. Haha, I can. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put that, have jars over off to the side, but I don't want to get those down. That might make a lot of noise. Have jars off to the side that I keep all my extra beads that break. Sometimes you get beads in boxes and or shipments or something like that that might be cracked. Maybe missing a hole, something like that. I have a couple of jars, or I have 1 jar of that, and then I have a second jar that I'm starting somewhere over there. Oh yeah, there it is. That will have like all my metal pieces, like this one, and then any type of fragments and things like that that I do for anything else. I'll have all that sitting in there too. Alrighty, so to get back, that is the stop thread. To get back to where we need to go to in between these 2 pink beads up here at the top. Let's see if I can make this a little bit easier to see. There we go. These 2 pink beads right here. So we are currently coming out way down here. And then the hole to get to the top, I think we just passed. We did. Alright, so we are coming out of this tourmaline bead. So we're going to go down this 11-0 here. And then which direction are we going to go in? Okay. So I'm going to go down the 11-0. I'm going to act like I am doing another brick stitch, so I'm going to go back under the bridge thread. Okay, now I'm going to flip this to the front again. So this is the 11-0 that we're underneath the bridge thread with. This is the 11-0 that we want to get to, right? Yep. So we're going to go back through the 11-0 one more time without going underneath the bridge thread. We're just changing the direction, essentially, of where our thread was going. And then we're going to go back through just the tourmaline, missing the 15s. Oops. Yeah. Don't go through the 15s. Just the tourmaline. Come on. The one time I don't want it to do something. Okay, there it goes. Okay, wiggling, wiggling. There we go. And maybe that it's getting kind of tight with thread too. Alright, so this is the bead that we started with. So we're going to go through the 11-0 there. And then I'm also going through the center of the bead. So I'm going to come out the other end. You see that there? So now I am set up to where I can go through this tourmaline, or this 11-0 sitting right here. That's right next to the hole. So I'm going through that one. I'll get the needle through that a little bit better. There you go. And then I'm just going to follow my thread path until I get, and you can do this in a couple of different ways, until I get to that 11-0 that I need to get to. So you can go through just the tourmaline beads. You'll just have to go back down the, the 11 from the first step, and then go under the bridge thread and then come back up the 11 again. I'm going to use up a little bit of extra thread doing it that way. It's probably not going to be that big of a difference. Or, like if you come out at a different spot, or you can be at your spot that you need to be at and not realize that you're already at your spot that you need to be at, and then go through your 15 and then come out your 11 of the second part, the second step that we did, adding the 15, 11, 15. Oh my goodness. Okay, my 15's kind of tight. There we go. And then come out the 11 and then do a double check, make sure that you are on the other side. I am, of the drop, so it hangs in about the same way. Alright, so now I'm just going to use some seed beads. 5, is that 5? 3, 5. We'll do 7, see what that size looks like. 7. Yeah, 7's probably going to be good. Let's see, let's do 9, actually. I'm going to do something different, I think. Okay, so we're going to put 9 15s on there. Then we're going to have to figure out how many of these. Great, now my cat's playing with the green screen. My other cat, Meet Cosmos. She has another nickname also. Let's see, how many of these are we going to need? Because I want this to hang this way. And then this, the chain's going to have to start perpendicular to you. So I really only need 3 links. So that third link is what we're going to open and close and attach to the ear wire. So I'm turning the link around to find the opening. If it really truly does have an opening, if it does not, like this one actually looks like it may be soldered. Oh my goodness. Do not knock down. Yeah, it's both of you. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. With that being the case, we are going to have to use our wire cutters. Okay. Ah! Goodness gracious. This thing's going to come flying down. As you can see all the ripples behind me now. Let's see, wire cutters. So I'm going to cut the 4th link. Oh! That always like pinches, or feels like it pinches. Cutting the 4th link, putting that off to the side. So now I have 3 links where I will... Okay, you two, y'all are gonna get in trouble here in a minute. Stop, please, before you knock it down. Okay. It's probably not gonna stop. Anyways, so now we're gonna go through one of the links at the end, because we have 3 links there. This is totally out of focus again. There we go. So now we have the 3 links. Gonna go through that. I already have those seed beads, those 9 seed beads on there. Give myself a little extra room here. And I'm gonna go through directly through the next 11-0. That's in line, and when you pull tight, that'll put your beads like this. I'm gonna go directly back through the 9 seed beads, going in the opposite direction. I really hope this green screen does not fall on top of my head. Going back in the opposite direction. So you are going to see a little bit of thread right there. It's really not going to be that big of a difference. I'm trying to stay away from all the lines from the green screen. I was hoping I could do this with my door open. It is obviously not a good idea to let the kitty cats run around behind me. But that is okay. Like I said, it's my first personal video. So, alright, so now your seed beads are sitting there. And you're coming back through that 11-0. Let's see, where is your stop thread? Can we get to that easily? Sort of. Because we're coming through that. Computer is turning off again. Let's see. Okay, we're just going to tie off and not worry about it. Because I was trying to get back to this easily, which we can. It's just, oh my gosh. It's just going to take a second. Okay, so go back through, if you want to get back to your stop thread, if you're doing the same thing I am, go back through your 15 and your tourmaline. And then go back down the 11-0 that is sitting there. And then, because I need to get back to the left over here. So that would be easiest. Yeah, it really will be easiest doing it that way. Okay, so go back under the bridge thread. Trying to move everything out of the way because I'm coming out of this seed bead right now. This, oh, that seed bead behind, right there. I'm going to go back under the bridge thread. And then we're going to go back up that same seed bead, that same 11. Maybe. There it goes. It's going towards the back of the earring though. So I'm flipping it towards the back. I'm going to go through the tourmaline. Should be the last time we have to go through the tourmaline. Okay, and then we need to go back down the thread, or this 11-0, which is the next 11-0 in line. There we go. Comes out the front a little bit easier. So we're going to go back under the bridge thread again. We're going to have to go right back through that 11-0 after we go through the bridge thread. And then they're still playing with the thing behind me. Oh yeah, it's moving around like crazy. Then we're going to go through that next tourmaline, and then we should be set up. I'm going to come out towards the back. So we should be set up to where we can tie a knot now. And then we can burn down that knot. Then I can show you how to add, the ear wire, which I think I just realized I needed an extra link. Yep. Because I want it to hang like that. Well, we're going to be adding 2 jump rings. I messed up. That's okay. So if you're watching this video and you see me messed up, you saw that I messed up, then you will know to not just cut off 3, you only need to cut off 2. Just 2. Just 2 of your lengths, not 3. So I can change that. I can actually fix that by cutting this guy off, and then my jump ring will work. So I think I'll do that instead, rather than adding extra jump rings. Okay, so now I'm back to my starter thread. So I'm just going to tie a knot. Where on my knots, I use the small thread, I go over the large thread and through. I use the small thread and go under the large thread and through, which I think I just did the same thing twice. It really doesn't matter, it's an earring. And then I'm going to try to get this a little bit closer to my face so I can see what I'm doing. And yeah, no, this is going to have to be close to my face. Okay, and you can sit there and watch me make funny faces while I do this, because I'm really trying to see this and it's very hard. Okay, so that is basically the end of our brick stitch. Okay, so let's fix our mistake. Oh my goodness. Hey, come on, stop, please. They're not going to stop. I'm going to try to do this quickly. Okay, so like I said, just cut off 2 links. Just two. Not 3. Don't listen to me from earlier. Okay, so 2 links. Fixed our mistake. Now we're going to open a jump ring. With that, I need 2 sets of pliers. And then you twist open your jump ring. And if this works, I'm going to be very happy. And then we're going to go through that second link, 2 links of your chain, and then we're going to go through the open hole of the ear wire, and we're going to twist our jump ring closed. And it sounds like they're biting on something again, or they're biting on each other. They do like to do that. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, that's closed. Like I said, a little bit of problem seeing. And then now, our earring is now complete. So hopefully, this is not too long of a video. Hopefully, you don't mind me rambling on. Like I said, it's my first video, so I will have others that will come out. But this will be my video for my Bargain Bee Box January 2025 Dusty Rose collection, where I made a pair of earrings, or right now just the 1 earring. Get that a little bit more in focus again for you. And thank you very much yet again for watching. I really do appreciate it. So if you like what you are seeing, you can hit the like button. You can also hit the subscribe and get notified whenever more videos come out by me, Dina, from Artistic Creations by Dina. Thank you much again. See you in the next video. Bye.